Well, welcome to Pillow Talking, guys.
Hey.
The only podcast shot from the bed.
Yes.
I'm JT,
And then I am NeNe.
and just like always, we always start off every week with something crazy we see on social media. And this week, we got to talk about these brands who continue to do stuff for clout. Like, if y'all know what I'm talking about, like these clothing brands that do stuff that they know
Will get negative attention, period, because they don't
attention,
care about
but they don't care that it's
either.
negative attention. And like so, recently this clothing brand basically put out a line of sweatshirts that were based off the school shootings, and like the shirts were all torn up, looked like they had bullet holes in them, and that was supposed to be fashion. And of course, they got a lot of attention. They're trending on Twitter, and they don't care. That's why they do. They have these brands like Gucci when they did the whole the news,
The neck rope,
and
But-
H&M with
but
the
what's
coolest
crazy
monkey.
is-
They do that stuff on purpose because they know it's gonna get a lot of attention. People go look at the website. A lot of people,
and some people are gonna buy it.
some people go buy other stuff,
And some people are gonna buy those.
They realize that it's a trend. So in a few days, nobody will even care. Like they'll have one day of boycott, whatever, and then the
Right.
next day it's back. Like H&M, people still shopping at H&M. Nobody has stopped. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody. Some people may have stopped going there, but
Just like Gucci, some people may have
they
stopped wearing
haven't
Gucci, but
lost
other people
a
are.
majority of their customer base.
Right.
Matter of fact, they probably gained people who never heard of them.
Right.
Because my mama never knew what H&M was until that whole coolest monkey in the jungle thing, and she was like, "What is a H&M?" She kept asking me. I was like, "It's a store," because we don't have one back home. So like, they know that the negative stuff drives attention, and they don't care if it's bad or good, because nowadays clout is really clout.
Yep.
And people will do anything for clout, including corporations. And that's why you see, like companies really have social media pages where they do and say anything just to get reactions.
Yep.
Like they beef with each other.
Just like Twitter.
Right. Yeah. Like they
Wendy's
have,
and stuff.
Yeah. Like Wendy's, they have Twitter pages. They have Instagram.
It's crazy. That stuff would never fly.
Their new form of advertising is literally trying to get impressions and get people to like, retweet. Oh, did y'all see what they said?
Right.
Like they don't care if it's negative or like they know, as long as they have the attention on them, that it's okay.
All that matters.
Like real talk. And like, man, matter of fact, even people do that. Like you see people, like people will do anything for attention. Like
literally.
People like
anything.
Literally anything.
Oh my
like
God.
anything that will make them go viral or anything they will do.
Like they will risk going to jail. Like
anything. They will
getting their kids taken away. They do anything. Like it's
See, when we
crazy.
were coming up, the big thing people used to do, it was a lot of just fight videos and stuff like that, and maybe like the occasional like joke that went viral and stuff, like especially like with Vines. But nowadays people just do stupid stuff,
crazy
like,
stuff. Like,
literally just walk to a store and knock over something and ha ha ha, and post it, like do anything for clout.
Anything. Or record
like,
themselves doing like a crime or something.
Like like crime, like. And the thing is, what they do is they see one person do it and it's funny, and then they're like, "I'm gonna do it," and then the second time it's not funny.
It's not. It's like you look dumb.
Funny
like,
the second time. That's what people don't get.
Like
the first time,
okay,
all right, cool.
We wasn't expecting that.
First time. Yeah. Like I always tell people, the first time somebody do a prank, hilarious.
Okay. Yeah.
Second time, okay, haha. Third time, okay, this is a little bit.
You clearly know.
Yeah, like this is, you just doing this for clout.
Yeah.
It's not even the same effect. Like,
it's not.
And so we have to realize that the corporations do this stuff. They don't care about us going on Twitter saying boycott. They care.
Want that low key.
They low key want it because every mention of their name is adding to their, knocking them up a level. They don't care that you're mad.
You're saying their name.
You are promoting them.
Yep.
By sharing a post about them doing that, it's promoting their brand, and they could care less. Their logo is on it. They don't care. They don't care. Yeah. So moving forward, I don't know. You saw the Fantasia thing.
Yeah.
But that has been pretty much as far as relationship wise, topic wise, that's been like the number one thing I've been seeing people talk about. If you don't know, Fantasia went on the Breakfast Club, and she basically kind of gave her opinion on the way the household should be ordered. Basically, she said that women need to understand that men are the head of the household, and until you get that order right, you will always have problems in your relationship. If you think that you are the head of the relationship, if you think that
you could be the man and the woman,
right? If you treat the man like he's not a man, you always gonna have problems. You're always gonna be looking for a man.
Right.
And like I'm not gonna say a lot of people are mad, but a lot of people had their opinions on what she said.
Oh, let's not leave out this part. She said that because they were like, so you think that, they were saying like, okay, so you're not a feminist or whatever. And she was like, I'm paraphrasing also, but she was like, well, what I mean by the man being the head is, she was like, the man is literally my head, like a head, and then the woman is the neck. So we got to make moves together, but however, he is over me.
Right, and I think
which I agree with it.
That's a great analogy. Because, I guess if you use her analogy, it's basically saying the man is the head, but like if you think about a head, like that's where you see the vision, like that you can hear everything. Like basically, she's saying it's okay to once you submit to a man's vision and all that. That's when stuff goes right in a relationship, and it really is true. Like when stuff is out of order, it won't work. So, for example, and this goes both ways. If I'm not being the man that I'm supposed to be and leading and loving the way I'm supposed to, we gonna have relationship problems. If Dominique is not respecting me and loving me the way it's supposed to be, we gonna have relationship problems. It goes both ways. Like
which is respect. It goes both ways. But however. We can't make decisions without each other. It's
right, and I think a lot of people have a problem with submission because they think it's control because they have confused the two. Like, they don't understand. I don't think they ever seen the right way. You get what I'm saying? Like, it is a way that you can submit to somebody without them controlling you.
Right. You can still be your own person, but submit to your husband. And I think women are. Well, it's like, okay, I'm just me, I used to have really a hard time submitting. Like, it's kind of getting better because I understand, and it's not what I pictured it. Like, I thought, like he said, you might think it's like controlling, which is true. I feel like we're low-key taught that that's controlling, but just because we were raised by, like, independent women, who thought something and they wouldn't do it. Like, it's no like, oh, let me ask.
Even Fantasia,
you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
she did.
A lot of people come from strong single mothers,
right?
And so
the mom and the daddy,
they never understood or they never got a chance to see that family dynamic. Right. And then you get into a relationship, and now you don't know how to act. You go back to your origin, like what you know.
Yeah.
You don't know anything but what you grew up with. Seeing a strong woman, seeing a woman who didn't take no jump from nobody. Yeah. So now you're in a relationship with a man, and like y'all trying to make this thing work, and it could work, but the order just has to be established.
And we're not saying like, like you just gotta submit, because people might think that you just gotta submit, like, to your husband. You gotta do everything he say. You can't do anything without him. Like, you know what I mean? We're not saying like he controls you.
That's what I'm saying. It's a difference between
submitting and controlling. For instance, if let's say I want to do something just out the blue, just crazy, something wild, and he like, babe, I don't think we should do that, and explains like, I don't think we should do this, blah blah blah. It's okay for me to be like, oh yeah, okay, well, I'm not gonna do it, like, but that's not controlling to me. That's and just
vice versa. Like, I want to do something, but then
and I'll be like,
my wife be like, I don't think it's time. I really think we should think about this.
Right.
At the end of the day, if I love her and respect her like I say I do, then I shouldn't have a problem with at least listening to her and consider what she's saying.
Right.
And that's what it's really about. Like,
because I feel, and I also feel like, for instance, us, like, we really don't really have a big problem with submission because we're married, but also we are, I don't know, I don't want to say in tune with each other, but like our goals all the time, most of the time, is the same. So
right, but see,
we might got different ways.
But that's a deeper conversation because that's because we have a deeper connection than just like that, like the obvious. Like our goals, like you said, our foundation is the same. Our goals are the same. Our beliefs are the same. Yeah. So a lot of the decisions we make, we already kind of feel the same way anyway. And also, we have built a relationship on trust and respect and love, and we haven't had any problems in those areas yet.
Yeah.
So our relationship is really strong. So like, I respect what she says, even if at the time we might disagree. At the end of the day, we always gonna be like, well,
like we always do with the art,
right.
do what the other person says every time. We could literally be arguing in that moment, but like when it comes all down to it, we just be like, okay, like, yeah, like whatever each other was talking about.
That's really the part of the relationship that is hard for some people, is realizing that sometimes you'll have to give up your wants, sacrifice some of the things you want for the person that you say you love. Yeah. And that's okay.
It only becomes a problem when it's just always one side.
Right. As long as it's both sides, it will balance out.
Right.
It will. It really will balance out. It will balance out. But anyway, I don't know. I kind of feel like the people who were mad at Fantasia,
feminist.
It wasn't. I don't want to say feminist because it was just people who don't understand that dynamic.
Yeah, people who never even saw that before.
Yeah, it's just people that as soon as you say submit, they think control.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I used to be like that, and it was crazy. Is I had a stepdad who like came in and they did the role right, way better than what I even imagined. But it's just like I grew up though, literally like from birth to like 8 with my mom, like right. So being the the disciplinary, the head, and so it's just like kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna grow up just like that, even it's kind of weird to switch to wife mode, like your wife,
Yeah, so I guess it's hard because what happens is, especially nowadays, women, they're more independent naturally.
Especially from a single mom to a wife, like,
right. Oh yeah, especially. But yeah, like I'm just saying, women in general are more independent. They have more education, and not 9 times out of 10 they've been taking care of themselves by themselves before they get into a committed relationship.
Right.
So like now you have instead, back in the day it wasn't always that way. Yeah. Like straight you left the house to get married. Right. Yeah. But nowadays you leave the house and you really take care of yourself, be your own boss, do what you want to do when you want to do it. And then you try to take that into a relationship, and it's almost like Fantasia said, it's like two men, like because you have a man's mentality,
right?
And you're trying to live with another man, and wondering why
not gonna work. Yeah,
wondering why y'all butting heads, wondering why nobody will listen, because it's basically like testosterone versus testosterone. Yeah. Because you have been
doing that,
been in the process of being single and growing and doing your own thing. You develop that independence, and it's hard sometimes to realize, okay, I have to let that wall down. I have to understand that we are in this together. Like,
he's a helpmate.
But a lot of people, I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't understand it, because I totally understand why people have that issue.
Say no,
But just like Fantasia said, you will be single or have relationship problems until you address it,
or pick the wrong people,
or pick the wrong person. Like, and if you want a healthy, happy relationship, you're going to have to submit to each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, I guess people probably, if people, like, since we say, like, the man is the, head, like, that's kind of, traditional. And we in a world where people are like, I don't really fool with the traditions of, roles or whatever.
Right, like, we have people who want.
But she also talked about roles. Like, and Pastor Stephen's wife also talked about roles one day, and she was saying how, like, when she learned what her role was as a wife, as a mom, like, her and her husband got better. Their relationship got better.
Right, and
because she kept overstepping.
I do want to say the stuff that we're talking about is more for marriage,
right, and
not relationships,
right?
Because
please
don't try to establish these dynamics in a relationship, because there's a difference between being boyfriend, girlfriend versus wife
and husband.
Husband. So don't be submitting to your boyfriend, because that's low key controlling.
And first of all, I feel like you don't deserve that until.
That's what I'm saying. Like like that level. That level of respect, love should be for a husband.
Yes, you earn that.
Yeah, that's not like That's not just girlfriend, boyfriend stuff. Like, the stuff she's talking about, the stuff we're talking about is not. No, don't try to play these family dynamic roles and all these different, stuff. Basically, spousal roles, and you're not.
Just boyfriend and girlfriend. Because that's why some people don't want to get married. Chill out. Just like our last episode. So.
Yeah, chill out and just date and do your thing. Yeah. But as far as married people, yes, you have to. Yeah. You will have a lot of the fights you have in your first year of marriage. Because somebody did ask me about that. Like,
really?
Is the first year really that hard? And a lot of the fights is learning
how to.
It's really just learning how to live with another person.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. It's how to do everything together. Seriously, like living, loving, caring for,
paying bills,
forgiving.
Banking,
like, it's how to do everything together and for someone else.
Cleaning together.
It's about, oh my God, literally everything.
Literally everything. And that's why you have to kind of establish those, standards and rules and know the dynamics, because you're going to have a lot of heated battles that first year anyway, and you don't want that to be added on.
Right.
Like, the first year already, so to answer that question somebody asked me, is the first year hard? The hardest, it's not that it's the hardest because it's just terrible, you don't want to be married. Right. It's just that it's a learning process of learning somebody, and it takes time. Right. And it normally takes literally a year, even maybe shorter for some people, maybe longer, but it takes,
I think it literally took us a year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's like literally around our anniversaries when we realized
kind of chilled.
Like we understood each other more. We understood.
But we're both strong minded. Like, we both are strong headed. Like, so And
the thing is, I want to repeat, the first year is not like a bad experience. Right. It can be. It can be. Like, depending on your situation, I don't want to lie to you either. It can be very tough, very hard. But at the same time, you have to understand that you will have fights, you will have clashings, because you are learning to live with somebody.
Yeah, and it's not that y'all don't like each other; it's that you're learning to live with someone else.
Right. So you learn.
You can't think for yourself anymore.
Right. You got to think for
together.
each other.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because your whole life up until then, you've been thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
And now you have to literally change based on whatever age you are. That many years of being independent.
Yeah. Especially if you have kids too. So you have to also, sometimes arguments are about kids. Like, honestly, like, a lot of our arguments have to do something with the kids, or whatever.
Normally, during the first year, most of your arguments gonna be centered around. I think finances is a big issue.
That is a big issue
because you have to, like, once you used to spending money a certain way, and then somebody else trying to tell you what to do with your money, that's gonna cause fights off top. Like, first off, don't tell me what to do with my money. That's how it is.
I've been fine before you.
That's gonna cause a lot of issues. Yeah. Then I would say, besides finances, probably would be like, if you have kids, you go disagree on a lot of stuff, especially discipline and things of that nature. You go disagree on just basic housekeeping stuff, like how clean stuff should be, where stuff should go.
Who's cleaning what? Now let's talk about roles with that. Like, when I said roles, knowing that Pastor Steven's wife said about roles and how she learned.
Matthew Stevenson. Stop saying Stevenson.
I always say Stevens because I just feel like, why I gotta say Stevenson? Like,
yeah, if y'all don't know Pastor Matthew Stevenson,
yeah, he's a pastor and
cool pastor. Ever need some
Chicago?
Like whatever, go check him out. But
his wife is
you will never know who he is because she keeps saying Pastor Stevenson.
Sorry, Stevenson. That name, I never say that name. I always shorten it, Stevens. Okay, but anyway, whatever. Yeah. So his wife, I'm just gonna say his wife's name. Her name is Camilla. So Camilla, she about the roles thing, I was saying that don't mix. I didn't want them to mix that up. Like, as far as like house roles and cleaning, y'all do whatever is good for y'all. I meant, when I said that she learned her role, I meant as a whole, like as a wife, like in times of decisions and caring for
her actual
like
role,
that.
not like what she does around the house and stuff.
Right. So that's
a lot of but back to what we're talking about in that first year, a lot of stuff, and we actually talked about this a while back. A lot of stuff they don't prepare you for when they tell you getting married. Man. They just be like, "Oh, you about to get married, go on a honeymoon,
it's happy.
Boom, boom, boom."
Oh,
no,
What about after?
They should tell you what happens
when you go home.
Yeah, because nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Nobody told me what to expect.
Like you remember, like we would argue, and like JT would literally be blown away because he could not understand why we would argue so much. Like this is not supposed to happen.
Right.
And I'd be like, I mean, we gonna argue. Like
because
that's
the crazy part is, before we got married, it was good.
Yes,
like before
man.
everything was good, and not that stuff got bad between us. It just was that learning
easier,
process. Yeah,
because we didn't live together though. Really, like
right.
we got to leave whenever we wanted to. You know,
right.
So we didn't really see upset.
We were independent.
We really
That's
upset.
the thing. We were two independent people who became dependent on somebody overnight.
Right.
Like literally, like the next day we are together. Like so, you literally go from being independent one day to next day you are married and now dependent on a person. So
right.
it's like it's literally a culture shock for you because you have to literally change your mindset in a day.
And I do believe, especially if you have like a strong, if you have an understanding of marriage, like, because some people might not have, like I said, a traditional marriage or think of marriage as in a traditional way, so it's easier for them to live the way they are. Like, they might not change a lot of things from when they were single. Is what I'm saying. But like for us, we have like a traditional kind of way. I mean, it's based, and we're also Christians, so like what we see in the Bible plays a part in it too. So we had to really like change our rules, like when we got together, like for real, like.
Right. Yeah, so I guess to kind of wrap that up, the first year, I forgot who asked me that, but the first year, it's not that it's gonna be terrible and something you should really embrace the change and embrace. And just keep in mind, when you argue, just know this is part of the growing process. The learning process. This is part of learning.
And expect to argue. Because if you expect it, you can...
But go into the argument knowing that you go argue, but you still going to be mad.
Yeah.
Like, don't go into it like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Right.
Because for one, anything that's easy, like marriage is not something that's easy. Right. So it's work. Like...
It's fun, but it's
it
not
is work.
easy. Like just sliding through marriage. Like, you know what I mean? Once you get over the humps, I feel like,
once you get over humps,
it gets better.
It gets better. But,
yes.
Right.
But yeah, for us, our first year was a little rough.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad.
But it wasn't bad. I wouldn't trade it for anywhere. I'm so happy we argued. I'm happy we did all that.
Now we know.
Yeah, we know what ticks each other off. We know what we should say. We know what we shouldn't do. Like, we know how to talk to each other way better now. Like, there were times we couldn't even talk to each other because we would just like get angry. Yeah, like we didn't know how to talk to each other at all. Right. But we used to watch Judge Lynn.
Oh yeah,
we still watch Judge Lynn.
Divorce court helped us a lot.
Yeah.
The first year is just really learning experience, and that's pretty much that. Like, you go fight, you go argue, but you'll be okay. Yep. But moving on to my personal favorite segment, I love you, but I don't care. And of course, I'm talking about football because it's football season.
I already know what you're gonna talk about.
My heart is broken because if you don't know, the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints is Drew Brees, and he is out for 6 weeks because he messed up his thumb, and my whole life is in shambles.
That's so sad, huh? Like, God.
Yeah, it's terrible because
it's a thumb.
It's a thumb, and he's a quarterback. It's like literally all the only part of the body that quarterbacks need is their arm and their hand.
And that's what he messed
up his thumb. The biggest finger on his hand.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Drew Brees is out for 6 weeks. Hopefully Teddy Bridgewater can keep us afloat until he gets back. Right. The only good part, like the only blessing, is that he'll be well rested going into the end of the season, which could, could help us out in the later games. But it's still kind of tough to lose your starting quarterback in week 2. Yeah.
But thank God it's earlier.
Right. So thank God it's not the playoffs, because I would really, be emotional. Like, because the last 2 years we've been cheated and we've been so close, and like I would really be emotional.
I think they were cheated. You guys were cheated. Even just the last game, man.
Oh yeah, the refs are. The
refs
are
like out to get. Oh yeah, you gotta work 10 times harder. Saints gotta work 10 times harder than everybody else.
Because we that good. That's
what it is. y'all scare people, you know.
Oh, and Colin Kaepernick still don't have a job. So I'm gonna just keep reminding people that until they get a job, because it's literally 8 quarterbacks that's out right now with injury, and Colin Kaepernick still don't have a job. Well, but anyway, I'll leave that alone.
Figure that though.
Yeah.
We used to say that all the time. Figure that though. Did you guys used to say that when
Figure that though.
Figure that though. Like, I don't even know what to say, but we just say it fast. Figure that though. It's like, yeah, figure that though. Y'all used to say that?
We were educated.
No, you wasn't. You were country.
Okay, well, we didn't say that though.
Anyway, we used to say that all the time. But he's from Arkansas. So.
I'm not.
Okay, he's from Natchitoches.
From North Louisiana. 318.
Boo boo. 318-834-800.
Okay, go on.
Anyway, okay. Yeah, so for me, I wanted to talk about a meme that I saw today posted by a Christian person. It said that depression, if you're going through depression that's suicidal, scriptures won't help you. Like the Bible and scriptures won't help you, basically. Right. So that bothered me a little bit. But because, you know, it can help if you have a relationship. But I feel like she was putting God in a box.
Let's preface this by saying, I guess this is for this part, or this conversation is for people of faith. So if you're not of faith, this doesn't apply to you.
Yeah,
like,
ignore it.
But if you are of faith, basically a lot of people have recently been talking about therapy and, you know, treatments and all that to deal with depression, which I agree that we need. But also I feel like if you're a person of faith, you should have faith.
Right.
So your faith should be your hope, number one. But faith without works is dead.
Which is why you need
That's why
therapy.
You need the help.
Exactly.
So you gotta have both. And a lot of people nowadays are so quick to be like
they gotta pick one or the other. Why?
You need both.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's okay.
No matter what your faith is, not even just Christian. Like whatever your faith is or what you believe, it's okay to have a spiritual. You go work in the spiritual side, and also you go do your job on the natural side. You'll get help. Physical, you go see whoever you need to see, because
they work hand in hand.
They work hand in hand. The faith and the work.
It's not like you can get, it's not like one is hurting the other. Like if you put them both together, it's like you can't get anything back. Yeah.
Literally, you can do both. And that's that conversation is really that simple.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to overcomplicate it. We don't have to dive into it. It's literally that simple.
And it's like a lot of people believe that's the reason. I believe the reason why some people pick just God, and I'm not saying God can't do it, because he can. Right. But just like if you go to say you're on drugs or whatever and you got delivered, you still gonna need help to stay on the path, so you can go to counseling, just like if you're an alcoholic, you get delivered, but you gonna still have, issues kind of, and you can go to counseling, them classes.
Yeah, you can go to therapy. That's one thing, like, and I don't
nothing's wrong with that, but you still believing in God.
Living this conversation to just Christianity.
Yeah.
I believe we got people who listen of every background of faith and people who support us. So whatever you believe, whatever it is you believe on the spiritual side, you can believe in that.
Also.
But at the same time, you can still go do the therapy and do the work that's required. That's like believing God. Hey, like God, I need to deal with this high blood pressure, but then you go eat whatever you want.
Exactly.
How does that work? Like
that's perfect.
That's crazy.
It is.
Like it's the same thing with mental health. It's the same thing with anything. You can hold on to your faith. Hold on to what whatever that is for you. Yeah. So, but at the same time, it's okay to pair that with the appropriate medical attention that you need. And when you do both, that's how you reach that wholeness.
Exactly. You're building yourself up completely. Whole, spiritually, physically, mentally. So.
And that's what it's all about. It's really about knocking at every single, entity and part of our existence. Right. We are, you know what I'm saying? So it's really that simple. So I feel like that conversation is literally as simple as do both.
Exactly.
And be quiet.
Yep. Period.
So anything else you want to add? That really wasn't I don't know why Dominique always brings up these topics like I don't care about them. Like,
right.
That's
literally every really comment, every topic I picked, you cared about.
Like,
but I don't know.
I was giving you a chance to really talk about stuff I don't care about.
Like makeup? I do have something to tell you.
Okay.
I was tired of, hiding makeup in my car. Like
hiding makeup in your car?
Yeah, because I always be like, oh dang, I left my spray in my car because I would buy it, but then I didn't want you to see me buying it, so I would hide it in my car until later.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I just was like, I'm just gonna do this Ipsy thing because I kept seeing it, and I was like, God, if I see this again, I need to do it, and I saw it again.
What?
It's called Ipsy, and it's a makeup place. Well, they have everything for women. So like $12 a month, you get like a glam bag every month with like.
Oh, so
samples.
It's like one of the little fashion boxes for men.
Yeah.
That like every month they send you
right.
a box of socks or whatever.
Yeah, right. But it's like for makeup and because I was like, I'm sick of it.
So basically, you telling me you ordered this makeup thing, subscription box.
Yes.
And you're hiding from me by sending it to your job.
Yes. But you see, I am being honest.
I can't be bad at that.
I did it already.
Yeah, you already did it. So it's like, what can I do?
I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
That's cool. That's what's up. I'm going to go buy something and I'm not going to tell you.
You did that with them shoes? With them gold and black shoes? When I just came home and I was like, what?
No, I told you I was getting those shoes.
No, but you have 2 pairs of shoes. You bought those shoes and you bought them other shoes. Those black shoes with the white writing. And I was like,
oh, yeah. But see, that's the thing. I'm not hiding anything from you.
Well, yeah, when I have the makeup on, I'm not going to be hiding it either when I'm sitting right there and putting it on.
You really just confessed to hiding makeup.
It's okay. The first step is admit.
No, that's the first sign of an addict, that you're hiding. I don't know if you're a shopping addict or a makeup addict.
I really think it's just makeup. I don't really,
I wish I could show y'all what I'm looking at right now. But I'm looking at her makeup desk, and it looks like the toy section at Walmart.
Really? I still think I need more stuff.
There's a table full of makeup, and it's all over the place.
I think I need more brushes. I think I need more primer. I think I need more highlighter because I don't like the ones I have. I have 4, and I don't like any of them.
So why do you have them? Now, that doesn't make sense.
Because you test out things, and that's what makeup is about.
Why you don't test
testing
out stuff before you buy it?
How?
At the store.
Sway?
Go to Sephora.
You can't. No.
I see people in there all day. I literally see women in there.
I'm going to be in there all day, babe. If I test out everything that I need, I'm going to be in there all day. I'm going to be in there all day.
One time I went to the mall.
I don't have time for that.
Sephora.
I don't have time for that.
When I was leaving out the mall, the girl was still in Sephora trying on stuff. The same girl. And you know why I know this? Because she was in the same spot.
Okay, yes, I agree. But however, Lafayette is 30 minutes away. So when I need to pick up something, it just be like on my mind. Like I just be like, oh, let me go get this. I need this. Let me go get it.
How can you hide stuff from me?
Are you serious?
I'm hurt.
For real? You're hurt. You're hurt.
I'm hurt, y'all.
You're hurt.
I've been hiding makeup from
me. I always hide makeup from me. Seriously, like in my car, like for real. Or either put it like.
I hope you put it in there and it melts.
It do, but I take it out and I dry it.
That's so sad that you hide stuff. It's 185 degrees outside and you leave your makeup.
It melts, but it goes back to normal once you put it in cool air.
Well,
but yeah,
I guess I can't be mad at that.
I just want to look real good when I put on makeup because I don't wear it that much.
I like when you look real good. I'll be looking
at
you real good. You look real good.
Ew.
All right. It's time to go.
I get delusional when I'm tired. So
look, man, send us an email if you have any questions. But yeah, that's Pillow Talking this week.
Good night. And I meant to say delirious, but good night. See?
No, you get delusional and delirious.
Nah, Chantel is worse.
All them things. All right, good night, y'all.